It's day 19 in the 2018 Utah legislative session. It's Friday night, and our Judiciary Committee went clear up till 7:30 with some fairly heavy issues that I'll talk about in a minute. But I have a lot to do this weekend because Monday I have three or four bills, in committee. So I have a lot to do to get ready for that. It's a busy week. Today on the floor, we dealt with our medical marijuana bill. Always have kind of mixed feelings about that, but we opened the door ever so slightly to allow some use of medical cannabis. So hopefully that'll bring some relief to some people, and we don't maybe go too far too fast. In the Higher Education Appropriations Committee this morning, we passed out our budget recommendations. Those will now go to the Executive Appropriations Committee, where they will put all these budgets together and make the great big budget. And I am disappointed to report that we didn't cut much. We cut a little bit. What we did cut will move over to provide for some K through 12 teacher salary increases. We didn't cut much, but what we really didn't do at all is we didn't address the out-of-control rising cost of higher education. We didn't go there. I don't know what it's going to take. It's my fourth year. I'm one person on a committee of about 15 people, and I don't know how we get there. So sorry to report that. Big disappointment. Early in the process, our Commissioner of Higher Education came to us, presented the requests for all the institutions on budget, and he said, if you give us everything we're asking for, then we promise that we won't raise tuition more than about 2%. And we didn't give them everything they asked for. So does that mean it's open season? Is it, what are they going to get smacked with this year? What are the students going to experience this year? My daughter had a 5% increase in her tuition last year, so I don't know what's coming. And I guess there's student loans, so we can always just keep paying for ever increasing costs just through student loans. In the Judiciary Committee, we heard a bill that we spent hours on, and I love serving on the Judiciary because we get such meaty, interesting issues that come before us, and especially the ones where we have competing and even conflicting rights. And so this was one tonight. We dealt with the issue of Americans with Disabilities Act compliances in a physical facility. So businesses are required to meet certain federal regulations regarding Americans with disabilities. And while nobody is disagreeing with that and the fact that a business needs to comply, what we found is that there has become, as one congressional document referred to it, as a cottage industry of lawsuits that someone will bring against a business. And the way it happens, we had an attorney actually testify in committee that he does this for a living. He will get referrals, and he's actually kind of seeking these referrals for a lack of compliance with an ADA regulation. And he has some people that he even calls testers. So they go out looking for them. And then if they find one, and one example was there was a ramp that was the size of a nickel off in its grade. So nobody is disputing that they need to fix that. But the problem is what this attorney does is he first files a lawsuit, and then they drop a letter to the business owner saying, hey, you have this problem, and we'll make it go away for $3,000 or $4,000, and you better hurry up and decide. You've got 10 days, or this offer will self-destruct. And so these businesses are looking at facing some kind of lawsuit that they have no idea what that's going to cost them. And so frequently they'll just pay this demand price. Now, this attorney that testified for this, he said he's done this. He's represented about 200 clients, and that's the MO. He admitted, that's how they do things. most other areas of civil law will allow a business to fix the problem. So once they get notice, they'll have X number of days to go ahead and come into compliance. But the ADA, for some reason, the federal law didn't include anything like that. And so, again, this cottage industry of people that bad actors that have gone out looking for these things quickly file a suit, or with or without filing a suit, offer this demand letter, and businesses are paying that like crazy. And so anyway, this bill just put a little bit of protection into the law, saying that you can't just make those threat letters. And so what we hope to see is that if a business becomes aware of some non-compliance, that they've got some time that they can go ahead and make the changes that they need to make. And but very, very interesting, because we absolutely wanted to respect the rights of persons with disabilities and their access to businesses, but also doing something about the people who have kind of made a living out of these types of threats. And so hopefully we struck that balance. I'm curious to see how the news is going to report it tonight. But a long, long discussion, a lot of deliberation on this, and a very sensitive issue.